God makes speed to save us. O Lord, make haste to help us. Glory to the Father, and the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen.
A portion of Psalm 119. With my whole heart and my complete devotion, I give you my life. I sit in your presence each morning. I commend you my life before I sleep. I ask for your help each day. It is just a game I am playing with myself. I know you are there somewhere, and that I live in you, but I long to feel your presence again. You see that I am a mess. I see that I am a mess. I keep working at it. You see that too. I would keep a steady course in spite of all difficulties, and walk in your ways towards the heart of truth, which endures forever.
A reading from the Gospel of Mark. From there, Jesus went to the area of Judea across the Jordan. A crowd of people, as was so often the case, went along, and he, as he often so did, taught them. The Pharisees came up, intending to give him a hard time. They asked him, they said, "Is it legal for a man to divorce his wife?" Jesus said, "What did Moses command?" They answered, "Moses gave permission to fill out a certificate of dismissal and divorce her." Jesus said, "Moses wrote this command only as a concession to your hard-hearted ways. In the original creation, God made male and female to be together. Because of this, a man leaves father and mother, and in marriage he becomes one flesh with a woman, no longer two individuals, but formally a new unity. Because God created this organic union of the two sexes, no one should desecrate his art by cutting them apart." When they were back home, the disciples brought it up again. Jesus gave it to them straight. A man who divorces his wife so he can marry someone else commits adultery against her. And a woman who divorces her husband so she can marry someone else commits adultery. The people brought children to Jesus, hoping he might touch them. The disciples shooed them off, but Jesus was irate and let them know it. "Don't push these children away. Don't ever get between them and me. These children are the very center of life in the kingdom. Mark this. Unless you accept God's kingdom in the simplicity of a child, you'll never get in." Then, gathering the children up in his arms, he laid his hands on them, blessing them. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Well, the lesson is very challenging, especially at the beginning. It pushes us to think about the commitments that we make to one another and how we live those commitments out to our family members, to our friends, to our larger community, and so much more. How are we honoring the things that we've said to one another? How are we honoring the people that we are in relationship with? How are we making those things holy and good? The last part of the reading is a beautiful story. Jesus really getting upset and really pushing back that nobody should be kept away from the goodness of God. We should be opening our hearts and our lives so that others can experience God in us and through our actions as well. That we should be helping to make God known. This is what we pray for. We ask for God's grace to help make God known in our midst.
Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
The suffrages. Help us to share your love, O God. Grant us your grace to make you known. Help your people to work for justice, and help us to be fair with one another. Guide the leaders of this and every nation, that justice and peace may fill the world. Let not the needy, O God, be forgotten, nor the hope of the poor be taken away. Give us curious and discerning minds, and let us discover new knowledge. Help us to own our mistakes, and work to heal hurt or broken relationships.
God of compassion, be close to those who are ill, afraid of isolation, and their loneliness be their consolation, and their anxiety be their hope, and their darkness be their light. Through him who suffered alone on the cross, and reigns with you in glory, Jesus Christ our Lord.
Let us bless the Lord. Thanks be to God. May the God of hope fill us with all joy and peace